Welcome, it's Trista Thompson.
And Ava.
And today we are actually going to be going through some of the requests from the forms that we received. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted with suggestions. Today we're going to cover the topic of relationship advice. We actually received several requests on that, and we're going to loop in like family relationships along with relationships of others as well. So,
Hold on. Before we get started, I just want to say I am sick right now, so if I sound a little weirder, yeah.
but she looks amazing. Her outfit today is so cute, so you can't even tell she's under the weather. All right. So, this particular request came from someone who is 11 to 15 years old, and she's asking us to share something in regards to the basics when getting into a relationship. So, she's asking that we talk a little bit about things to be aware of or cautious of regarding current or future relationships. So, because she is close to Ava's age, I am going to let Ava talk about this first. I want to hear what Ava has to say to Willow. We actually were asked to use her name, so otherwise we will never share or know who's submitting. But this young lady's name is Willow.
Okay, so as a 14-year-old, I've never actually dated anyone, but I have been in like multiple like talking stages or whatever and like hung out with people. What was the question again?
She wants to know advice about getting into a relationship of any kind or things to be aware of or cautious of.
Okay. So, growing up, not dating anyone, well, my friends have definitely done that. I have seen many things that I know to be cautious of, and like it's raised my standards a lot. So first off, I just want to say if you are not interested in someone at all, if they just like if someone wants to talk to you and you don't like them, don't lead them on. You should just make that clear that you don't like them. Don't settle because that if that's not what you really want, then you don't want to just keep going with that because it can be draining and it won't feel like an achievement in your life. So make sure to go after what you really want. Like, I don't have a specific type, but I know what I like, if that makes sense. And sometimes you just gotta reject people, and I know that sucks, but rejection will show you what kind of person they are. Because there have been two instances actually where I told a guy that he just wasn't my type and I like just wasn't interested in talking to him and they got mad and one guy said, "You know what? You." And I was like, "Whoa." Immature much. So that steered me away. And then another guy was just super immature and started rumors about me. But boys can be immature, and it sucks. But yeah, that's to start. Like, if you're not really interested, then don't go for it. Um, and things to be cautious of. Okay, so everyone knows like red flags and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, I like people with red flags or whatever." Like, I just ignore them, and I'm like, um, so obviously, people with like different opinions will think of different things as red flags or not. But if you know something's wrong and you just continue talking to them, I feel like just excusing their behavior will just make it worse. And if you believe you can change them, you can't because it's hard enough to change yourself. So, yeah, that's to get it started.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I think as a woman, my advice would always be to be yourself. Make sure that you're getting into relationships that you feel comfortable with. Make sure that you feel like you're happier around that person, like you can be doing hobbies that you enjoy around that person. Not that you have to be together all the time, but literally that you each can have your own hobbies and just support each other doing whatever that is. um, I think a lot of times what we experience as younger kids or are seeing kids go through is so young and being so committed to a partner, a boyfriend, girlfriend, like what that's going to look different. A boyfriend or girlfriend is going to look different at different stages of your life as well. So keep that in mind. Definitely make sure that it's someone, again, who's making you feel comfortable. That would be my, I think, biggest piece of advice getting into any relationship. And at any point in time where you feel like this person doesn't make me happy, or they're taking something away from you instead of giving more to you, and you can't do those things for them either, I would step away. You're so young, especially to this young lady who wrote in, and Ava, we talk about this all the time, but you guys are so young. You don't have to fall in love as a teenager. You don't have to be committed to someone. You don't have to be in a relationship. It's okay to, quote, just date yourself, just worry about what you like to do, worry about what you want. And if you do find someone who makes you super happy and helps you enjoy years or months of your life, that's okay too. And then also like cautions and awareness. So I just feel like awareness, you always want to be aware of how that person treats other people. So if they are treating other people poorly, or treating your family poorly, they have things that they need to work on themselves. Cautions are always, make sure you feel safe. I feel like that's really the biggest one for me, is just safety. I don't think I have anything specifically to tie back into that regarding her age group. Do you have anything else?
I do have something to add. So another thing we've talked about is you cannot and should not try to love someone else if you can't love yourself, because you can't expect someone, like some outside thing, to make you happy. You have to just genuinely be happy. And I'm not saying just always be happy. Like, you can be sad, but you can't expect your partner to be the only thing that makes you happy. And that's something that I've seen in like my friends' exes and stuff. It's like they're like so attached to this person because it's their source of happiness, but like you can't do that because when they're gone, what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, definitely agree with that one for sure. Super great points there. And, anybody in that age group, if you feel like there's other questions that come off of that, you can always write to us again. But that kind of sums it up, I think, nicely. Enjoy your youth. Be young. Live your life. Enjoy your freedom. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your family. Because one day, before you know it, you're going to be a young adult, or just an adult. You're going to have other responsibilities and obligations, and I just feel like it really does go too fast. So enjoy your youth. It doesn't have to be about other people. It can be about you right now. We also had another topic that came in this week. I think we're going to tie it together, because to me, relationships are not just boyfriend, girlfriend. It can also be family relationships, friend relationships. So this writer was over 50, And she asked that we talk about enhancing a family relationship with open communication. She said, sometimes there are hard feelings in relationships within a family. Please discuss ways you think family members can become closer. Any concrete ideas or advice would be helpful. Ava and I are just going to speak maybe through our experience. There's always going to be other ways to go about relationships within families, for sure. I feel like we have definitely been, our family dynamics have been turned upside down several times in our lives. And I feel like it does get really hard with family, because for a very long time, I felt like because it's my family, I have to accept how they treat me, how they talk to me. I still have to go to the events because it's family. A long time, I felt that way. Did you feel that like that too? Or did you feel like you always were comfortable?
Well, I mean, I kind of have to go to the events because my parents go. But it's like, I'll just sit there.
Yeah. Is there ever like any animosity at those events though, or family that makes you feel uncomfortable? Or is it just more like awkwardness or not close?
Not uncomfortable, but it's disappointing the relationship that we have.
Yeah.
Because when they don't even say hi to me.
Yeah.
Me and Everly. And it's like not that big of a deal to me, but it's like kind of disrespectful.
It is a big deal if it hurts your feelings. I think I have been in a position too where I have suppressed my emotions and told myself it's okay, I'm not bothered by it. And then I am surprisingly emotional about something. And it does bother me. It just doesn't bother me every single day.
Yeah, I feel like it didn't really bother me when it happened. It was just like, okay. I mean, we've never really been close anyway, but like, you know.
Yeah.
It's like she goes and builds a new family, and it's like doesn't even care for her own.
I relate to that. I do. I know who Ava is speaking about. I won't say names, but it's very hard to have people in your family that play a role, and they're supposed to be involved in your life. It's like, oh, this is this person, they're related to me this way, or related to my mom, and they're not playing the expected role. Not even in like a negative or a positive way, just not playing the role at all.
Yeah, just
and
indifferent.
And then just seeing them at family events is like a little triggering sometimes. I would love to say that if it makes you feel some type of way, say something. But I have been in the position where I have said something and it was like only taken as animosity. It wasn't taken as pure concern or like, I'm so sorry you feel that way. It was more like they felt like I was attacking them.
Yeah. And that's kind of like manipulative.
Yeah.
Like not considering your feelings as real ones, and they're like, well, you're making me feel like a bad like family figure. I'm like, well, maybe you are.
I know. It's like, where do you have room for improvement? You could do very simple little things and rebuild connections and relationships.
But people just choose not to.
Yeah.
And that's on them because we're awesome.
I agree. I definitely agree. I'm very proud of my kids, my nieces, our nephews, and that's on my side and my husband's side. I would say both sides of our family have people that aren't perfect, but yeah, our kids, I'm super proud of our kids and all of our nieces and nephews. Um, very proud. So, do you feel like when you felt like that way, do you think it's more you observing that absence when that person is around? Like you're like, oh, she's there. I didn't realize I had a void. Or do you think it's like overhearing like communication between like me and your mom if we're having like concerns about people not being involved? Like, do you think that our opinions have influenced your observance of that?
I don't really think it's so much your opinion. I think I've just picked up on it because whenever mom would say something, she's like, don't repeat that. I'm like, I don't even care. Like, I have my own opinions about people and I stand by that. But I think just as I've gotten older, I've like just realized like what you were talking about. And it's not just like siding, like, I don't know. It's not just like believing whatever you say. It's like I'm actually seeing it and learning it for myself.
Yeah. And that's really sad. Um, I don't know. It's really hard again when there is hard feelings with family members because just because you have a difference with that family member doesn't mean you're not going to see them again because other people in your family bring them around or they're invited to the same things. And honestly, there's no great way to navigate it because some people, no matter how much you open up to them and say, I want to fix our relationship, they're never going to change who they are. They're never going to want more out of your relationship. They just won't. And if that goes deeper into psychology rabbit hole, that's just something I don't want to deal with. I just, they don't want to repair that relationship, which is really sad.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, like you have to love yourself because you can't change someone else or whatever. That goes for family too because like you can't just keep putting your energy in and expecting to be like cared for when it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
You have to be around people, and that does mean in like friendships, family relationships, your personal relationship. You have to be around people who compensate some of that energy back into you. You have to have a revolving circle because it costs energy to be concerned. It costs energy to communicate and like talk and care for other people. And if those people that you're putting energy into aren't reciprocating that, you're not going full circle. You're not giving energy and getting energy. It's very exhausting and it's just not worth it until they want to mend the relationship as well. That's just how I feel.
Also, if you yourself aren't completely like, I don't know how to explain it, like full or like happy or whatever, and you keep giving your happiness to others when you're not even full of it, it's like you're just gonna keep like draining yourself and trying to make others happy. But you have to like make yourself joyful first.
Yep. And that will put you through a huge emotional burnout. Could even send you into depression, things like that. So I think ways that family members can become closer is having those conversations, doing the work that each person needs to do for themselves. And I hate to be forward, but some people, like we said, they don't want to put the work in, they don't want to change, they don't want to put the effort. You cannot rebuild that relationship until everybody is ready to do the self work, to put the self work in. I think that, I know it specifically says concrete ideas, but I think for everybody that's different. Someone, one person might have a musical outlet as a way to like self-help. it might be therapeutic. Some people might do yoga or work out. Other people might literally seek a counselor. And there's no wrong way to help yourself, okay? I want to make that very clear. If you're looking to build the person that you are, to be a better person, there is no wrong way to do that. Like whatever is working for you to help you be the best mother, husband, aunt, child, or sibling, whatever, that's what you have to do. But a lot of times people have to be intentional about it. If you start thinking negatively, or like the poor me cycle, you're training your brain to be negative. So you have to be intentional about being positive and rebuilding, in my opinion.
Yeah, about like the positivity. I always grew up and I was like so negative, such a pessimist, and I'm like, oh, like I don't believe in myself or whatever. But I've been trying to be more optimistic, because when you attract, like, when you put all your energy into bad things, you attract more bad things to happen, and that's how things ruin your day. Um, so I've just been trying to see like the brighter side on things, and it has helped. Like I remember last year during softball tournaments, we made it to championships and we ended up losing the championships, but we still ranked second best team in our district. Um and like when we lost, literally my whole team was crying and I was just like just standing there like, dang,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't win. But and then one of my friends came up to me. She was like, "I'm so proud of you for not crying." But I'm like I don't want to be one of those people who it's like it's just a game, because I love softball and I put a lot of work into it and I play the game hard, but also it is a game. So I'm not just going to cry over it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's such a good reminder, because I feel like there's adults like out here crying about stuff, like, and I don't mean like legit things like bills or sickness or relationship, like true, real deep issues. I mean, like, there's adults out here crying like about really pathetic things,
and we're
So,
not trying to like raid on anyone's feelings or whatever, but there
no.
are some socially agreeable things that can be a little interesting to cry over.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, some of those parents who want their kids to be what they couldn't, and their kids don't want to do that. And like,
Mm,
they're just like, why not? I don't want to be
yeah.
you.
I feel like, oh God, that could really like get me going on a whole nother topic, because I just feel like seeing kids be pushed so hard by their parents to do something that they do not love is horrible.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
I'd be
Like,
so sad and mad if I had parents like that.
mm-hmm, I agree. Yeah, it's just takes the fun out of it, and when parents make kids compete, I just like in an unhealthy way, I feel like it's not a good cycle. It's not a positive cycle. Like I do love sports and activities and all of that, but I really want it to be about fun, and as long as you had fun playing the game, then I feel like who cares?
Yeah.
You know, our oldest loved softball. He did a few years of baseball and then went back into like mixed league softball. And he would sometimes be very upset, like if they would lose, but when they were winning, it was like great victory, like just felt so good. And I'm like, you got to take it easy on yourself and your team. First of all, you have to learn to lose together before you can win together. I've always told him that. I think you, as a team, need to know what it feels like to lose, and then you can win. But it doesn't always work like that. There's a ladybug on the ceiling.
They're like all over my house.
Darn lady. Well, they're not ladybugs, they're beetles or whatever.
True.
But yeah, I've always told him that. And I still stand by that. I feel like anything in life, know what it feels like to be the underdog. Even if you are winning, like think about the people who are losing and don't make them feel bad about it. Just feel like you'll do better next time.
Yeah. And I think something that does play a part in like being sad about losing, it's not just in general losing, it's when your teammates just give up because they're like, that's why we lost the championship game, because we had to play two. And we won the first one. We were perfectly fine. And then the second one, the second team started getting better, and they were like, well, great. And they started getting mad, and I'm like, just play harder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't just get mad and give up because someone else is doing better.
Right. It's like, if you're not here to work hard until the end, why are you here?
Exactly.
And giving up does ruin it for the rest of your team. It's really not fair.
And as the pitcher, it's like, my coaches have been like, it's your job to set the mood for the team, and I am perfectly fine. It's literally everyone else that has a problem. And I'm like, I don't think that's what I'm here for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it doesn't affect everyone else clearly because I'm the only positive one out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes I do get mad when I'm pitching, but it's like, my coach literally told me he couldn't even tell, like, because I don't know, I must have some non-emotional facial expressions because I'm just like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, you've always done so good with like channeling your emotions and holding your maturity, even though I do feel like, don't forget, it's okay to be unmature at your age too. Like you're so young and you're going to learn a lot and you're going to have to grow up very fast. So don't feel like you always have to be the most mature. You know what I mean? It's okay. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else specific around like relationship or communication advice, anything like that?
So, not specifically like any forms of communication, but I do think whether it's your partner, your family, or your friends, you need to communicate with them. If you have a problem, if you have a situation you want to clarify, just any feelings or anything, you need to talk to them, because there have been times with when other people or me didn't talk to a person before they just decided something on their own. I don't know how to word this. And then it left the other person sad.
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about that the other day. But yeah, I think you need to talk to them, because if no one talks, then no one understands. And when no one understands, you get sad and in a spiral because there's no closure.
Yeah.
And no closure is worse than closure.
Oh, yes. We did just talk about like literally all of that this weekend.
Yeah.
No closure, no answers is so much worse than just being like, tell me the truth. Like, please just tell me the truth.
And it's really funny because while we were talking about that, I mentioned that I kind of like ghosted a guy this year, which I know, looking back, I shouldn't have done. I should have just told him that I didn't like him. I know.
And yeah, and it is okay. Like, why do we feel like we have to protect others people's feelings if we don't like them? It's okay to be like, I'm just not interested. It's okay. We need to let our youth, and even us as adults, we need to be okay with saying, look, you're just not one of my people.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Like, I'm pretty forward and I can be kind of a bold personality, but like whatever's on my mind, I want to say it, I want to talk about it. And I don't want to hurt feelings though. Like, I never want somebody to feel bad. Just because they're not like a person for me doesn't mean that they're not a person for somebody else. Like, they just got to find their people too. Or who knows, maybe they're doing something that you don't like and they're truly willing to change those habits. That's okay too.
Yeah, someone really wants to change for you, then they will.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say?
Ghosting somebody? Has there been more than one person you've been ghosting, Ava?
I don't think so.
She doesn't think so.
I have blocked a few people, but it wasn't when we were talking. Which
Well,
is
they
actually
probably knew though why they were blocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, actually, I used to never block people because I'm like, oh, well, what if I need to contact them or what if they need to contact me? But this year I'm like,
No.
you're getting blocked.
Right.
Like,
Right.
but for good reasons. I'm not just ghosting people now.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember what I was going to say. But
yeah, it's okay. I used to be the same. Like, oh, I can't say this because I don't want someone to take it wrong and hurt their feelings, or I can't do this and I can't like remove them from our lives because what about this? And now I'm like, you know what? No. If you want to be in mine, my husband, my kids, my family's life, you're going to be putting good energy into that circle, or I do not care. My cutoff game is so quick. Like, I don't have the energy or the time to sugarcoat and protect anyone's feelings. Or, no, we're not doing it. People know a lot of the time where they need to improve. They just haven't started the work to improve yet, you know? So, honestly, communication is huge. I know that there are a lot of introverts out there or people who, due to previous trauma, like they will shut down instead of communicating. And for them, space and silence works. But I'll tell you right now, space and silence does nothing but infuriate me. Like, me personally, I'm like, look, if this relationship is not a good one, it's not benefiting me or whomever I'm speaking to, whether it's family, friends, whatever, we talk about it and we just politely, respectfully go our separate ways. I think that should be more normalized. It doesn't have to be a big screaming match or a fight for people to just decide respectfully to go their separate ways, you know?
Yeah, I actually very much agree with that because my last like talking stage ended he just stopped texting me, and I was like, I had to reach out to a mutual friend to ask about it because they couldn't communicate to me, and I was like,
yeah, that's weird.
That's
and I feel like that, like, I just don't understand. That's just say, hey, it's just not for me right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay. No big deal. Whatever, right?
Yeah. Like, I'd rather do that, cry for like 30 minutes, get over it, than just ponder for weeks about it.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I completely agree. I'd rather cry. Tell me what I need to hear, okay?
Yes.
If there's something I need to hear, tell me. I don't care. Like, it is what it is.
I literally, okay, so I've been watching like the self-help like videos or whatever, and one of them was like there's like a difference between being nice and being kind. Being nice is like telling people what they want to hear, like, oh, she's nice, she always tells me that I look good and my outfits look good. But the kind person you respect because you respect their opinion of they actually tell you like the truth and they don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
That's the people I want. No
right.
Sugarcoating.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that they have to be mean.
Yeah.
Like, there's people out there who are just like, they want to hurt your feelings. That's not what we're talking about. We just want people who are authentic and transparent. And like, I feel like if somebody is coming to me with a concern or whatever, it should be out of like genuine, look, this is how I'm feeling. This is how you made me feel. You know, because sometimes I think we do say stuff because We can be bold, we can be forward. And sometimes we do say things that might hurt people's feelings, but a lot of times there is also some truth to it. And that's probably why it hurts their feelings a little bit too.
Yeah, I just know because, like, I talk to a lot of my friends about, like, their problems, and, like, I remember one time I was talking with a cousin about this, and I was like, "Look, I'm just gonna tell you straight up, they do not like you, and you're probably watching this, and he's probably gonna text me after this. Um, but I was just straight up. I was like, they don't like you. You need to just get over it. You'll find someone. Um, and I'm like, I know I come off so bluntly sometimes, but I'm like, you gotta hear it. I can't lie to you, especially if I can see it. Like, I might not always be right, but when it's so obvious, I have to say something.
Yeah. And I actually really respect that. And I wish more people felt comfortable. Like, look, you're not reading between the lines. Let me help you understand.
Yeah.
And not because you want them to be hurt or you want them to suffer, but literally because it's like, okay, come on now.
I
like,
want them to not suffer
exactly.
so I can help them actually see what's going on because we put on rose-colored glasses whenever we like someone. So
yeah, that's true. We do. We try to protect our own feelings, you know. And another thing, like, kind of talking about relationships, but also like family dynamics too. It is okay for one person to be ready to rebuild or change a relationship and not the other one. It's still okay to be honest and transparent. And, you know, whether it's like a young relationship, it's okay to be like, look, I'm just not really feeling you like that right now. But with a family dynamic, it's also okay for, like, if there's a family fallout, one family member to be like, I'm so sorry, and the other family member to be hurt and take time to mend from that. Like, we have to realize, like, just because we're not all on the same page doesn't mean we're necessarily being rejected.
Yeah.
You know?
And just because they're family doesn't mean you have to keep going back to them. I know it feels like challenging and hard because they're always with you. Well, if they're like household family, or they're always at like functions and stuff. But just because they're related doesn't mean anything. If they genuinely disrespect you, then you don't have to respect your elders.
Yeah. And I really agree with that too. Like, there are elder people that are just rude, you know, to some of the younger population, and they feel like they can call out what they're wearing or how they identify or what, like, how they express themselves, you know. And it's not okay. Like, sorry, grandma, like, just saying, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, these are different times, and we want our kids to feel comfortable. We want them to feel like they can express themselves at every stage of their life, and not feel like they have to hide who they are. That's what I want anyways, you know? And, you know, kind of to piggyback off of that, if people in your family are not being kind and polite to your kids, just don't expect your kids to be giving hugs and being kind and polite to them as well, you know? I don't know.
Some people just don't deserve it. They don't deserve your respect.
No, they don't. And that doesn't mean you have to be disrespectful. You know, you can just be indifferent. That's okay too. That is something I definitely want, like, before we wrap up here, I want to add is, speaking specifically about like family fallouts, like, it is okay to still go to those family events or functions and just literally be indifferent towards those other people that are there. You don't have to be like, I'm not going because so and so is there, because it might hurt you. It might hurt your kids to not see other cousins, you know, to experience that big family meal or whatever. But I feel like it's okay to just be there with your family and your people that you're good with, and just they're indifferent. Like, you can be civil and not wish them harm. You don't have to speak with them. Sometimes I do understand, though, it is triggering to see people. And that just means maybe there hasn't been enough time. Maybe we need more personal growth. Maybe it's better to stay away from that person for longer. Those are just decisions that we all have to make.
Yeah, and like when like that person doesn't say hi, I'm not saying hi either.
Mm-hmm.
So like I literally had to, well, I was walking past them to get food, and that's when they started talking to me. And they were like, "Oh, how'd that go yesterday?" And I'm like, "Good."
Mm-hmm. It made it kind of more awkward then,
Like, because it's
maybe.
only because I walked past them. Like,
Yeah.
she wouldn't have came over.
Like, went out of her way to say, hey, how are you? What have you been up to? Yeah, I totally get that. And I hate that for you, that you notice or have to go through those things.
Yeah.
It really sucks. Family's fucked up. Excuse my language. But family is really, I think, probably one of the most difficult relationships to navigate, because so many people are like, oh, it's my mom or my dad or my grandparents or my brother or my sister or whoever. No, I do not care what biological role they play in your life. If they are not good to you, they are not good for you. Okay? And it's okay to not wish them harm, but just be indifferent. Like, if you threaten my peace, you're just not welcome. Like, I don't know. It took me a long time to grow and feel that way, but that's how I feel these days. Like, the people who are around me and my family, I just want them to want the best for me and my whole family. That means me, my husband, my kids, everybody that I'm around. Don't come around here with anything negative that could be negatively impacting my household, my family. That's how I feel.
And like friends and partners, those are your chosen family. So you need to pick good ones that will stick with you. You can't just pick random people that you don't trust. Those are your chosen family, so you get to spend your life with them.
Yeah. Some people need to definitely choose like a bit more wisely, I think, because
yeah,
it's really sad. I mean, we do also grow and change throughout our lives as well as we age, go through different stages, different wants, different needs, different experiences. So maybe I shouldn't say choose more wisely. I just think be patient, focus on yourself, and you really have to do. And I'm not saying like, oh, be totally self-absorbed, so selfish.
But you need to care about yourself.
Yes, you do have to have self-respect and definitely care about yourself for sure. So I feel like we covered everything.
I think so too. This was a little longer than we were, like 30 minutes longer than we were planning it, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll figure it out as we navigate this. But thanks again so much for joining. We will continue to show up every Thursday afternoon, I believe, is what we're going to be planning on. And then also, please, if you lasted through the end of the video, we really encourage you to write in and utilize the form. It is 100% anonymous, so you can be female, male, you can be any age group. You can bring your relationship conversation topics here, anything. We welcome you to join us, and we're excited to chat soon. So
yes, and for the form, please, like, we got some submissions that we're grateful for, but it was like not very many to put into topics. So I feel like we need more like stories and stuff, like to give advice on, because it was just kind of like broad. But I mean,
my husband just peeked in, and earlier it was my oldest son. I don't know if you saw Damien.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
I didn't see him.
Yeah. They're nosy.
But yeah, more like stories and like situations would be more helpful rather than just broad terms. But if that's all you can give us, then that's fine too. But lots more submissions would be very much appreciated for next week, because we just want to give you guys advice. And
Yeah.
whether it's am I the a-hole sometimes.
We had somebody submit a form and they selected Am I the A-hole? And instead of giving us a story, they said some days.
Which, if you don't know, the Am I the A-hole podcast thing is like you give us a story and we decide if you are the a-hole in the situation.
Yeah, we get to have a conversation about it, and then people from the audience can come into the chat and like give their opinion. I would love to have more stories.
Yeah.
One, like funny drama, but we would literally love to have more stories, good, bad, indifferent, it doesn't matter. But yeah.
Yeah, especially Am I the a-hole? Those videos are so funny. They got me crackling.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us this afternoon, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, bye.